Wall Street Memes Casino.
I'm fine.
And Sportsbook.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFLTV. We are back in Riyadh. It's the start of fight week. I'm delighted to be joined by two of the best promoters in the game. Mr. Eddie Hearn, how are you?
Two of the best, or the best two?
Frank, how are you, mate?
Oh, I'm echoing what Eddie said. What's going on, eh?
We want to know how we've actually, now we've reflected on the rivalry, we've actually realised that the main reason the rivalry existed was because of you and because of IFL. And we don't feel great about it anymore, to be honest with you.
Okay, do you echo those thoughts, Frank?
We're in agreement on everything.
Wow. Let me ask you a question. If Fury and USYK had happened on December 23rd, do you think that we'd be standing here now in this situation?
December 23rd? Is that when it was supposed to happen, was it?
Yeah.
Would we be standing here in this situation?
Think about the order of...
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that firstly, look, we were doing shows in Saudi Arabia. His Excellency came along with this incredible vision. The first one he did was Fury against Ngannou. Frank was, taking the lead on that. It took us a while to come in. And one thing you have to understand as well, Frank could have, and Queensberry could have, really dug their heels in and gone, we don't want anyone to get to, but actually what they saw was, if we're going to make this as big as we want it to, we need everybody to take part in it. So it's not that they let us in, but they showed no resistance to His Excellency because it was for the good of boxing. And we're thankful for that as well. Fury USYK, I said the other day, I had 2 fighters on that card. That's massive for me. Normally I wouldn't even get a ticket.
The point I'm trying to make is, right, if that fight...
say it's tired journalism.
It's creating the news.
If that fight had happened, you wouldn't have obviously have been having Joshua on that card. That's true. Yeah. So you don't really know, right? You just don't know how that would have panned out.
Do you know something? It did happen, and it's happened for the best. I mean, if means shit.
Exactly.
The facts of the matter.
Was it? I'm telling him, Frank.
I'm telling him. I'll get right. But we're getting that side. but the truth of the matter is, we're in a great position. We're getting great fights now. We got a real competitive night on Saturday. Probably the most competitive night I think that we've had for years as companies between each other. And I mean, I'm really excited about this card. Great fights, 50-50, couple of 60-40s on there. It means a lot to Eddie and MATCHROOM. It means a lot to me, George, and Queensberry. It means the world to us to win this. There's no one's just coming to make up the numbers here. These are real good quality fights, and we're going to see some great fights. And that's happened. That's happened as a result of what's been going on here in Riyadh because of His Excellency and his vision and so forth, and banging our heads together. And we'd be schmucks to not to make it work. And by the way, I think we enjoy what we're doing now. I think we're getting more enjoyment out of it, and it's in fact in some ways it's been easier to make fights. Whereas in the past you're always looking for an edge and so forth. It's made it easier because these are the weights. You get your best, and we're going to put them in our best. And I believe this will continue in different formats, highest levels, medium levels, maybe York halls, where it may be, all the different levels. It's such great permutations here of great fight nights for the fans to watch, and for us, to show what we're all about as boxing people, show what we, the faith in our fighters, the investment, not just money, the time and whatever we put into guys, bringing them through. Are they as good as we think they are?
When you look throughout the card, top to bottom, generally amongst fans, it is very difficult to pick from a neutral perspective a very clear winner in any of the fights. I think people side towards who they do, but you wouldn't put your house as a neutral on any of the fighters on either side.
No, and that's what's so good about the card. When have you ever seen a world-class card with 5 fights on that you literally cannot pick a winner in? And again, don't forget as well, it's the concept. 1 point for the win, 2 points for the stoppage, double points for the captain. You're going to have the points, scores going as the fights go through the night. It's going to come down to Wilder Zhang. Because if we're miles behind and he knocks out Zhang for 4 points, we're going to win. Zhang might just need to win by any means necessary to win the event. So we're going to be there probably one side of His Excellency. He's going, oh, stop holding, ref, you shut up. You, I mean, like, I can't tell you. And I'm going to really get into these boys from both sides. I'm going to tell the Queensberry lot. I'm going to try and put some doubt in their head. By any means necessary. Any edge in this fight. You know, this is a fight. This week and on Saturday night. And we can't afford to lose this fight.
Do you know when like rival fans go to the other team and they start letting off fire alarms and making things uncomfortable? This is really kind of your territory. So have you set a few things up?
What are you trying to say?
What's all that about? What, setting off fire alarm? Yeah, what do you think I am?
A match hotel.
Fire starter.
Are you two going to be sat next to each other?
Listen, for me, I mean, for TV, we should wear heart monitors, really, for my own safety as well, I feel. I mean, I've got to say, Catterall Taylor on Saturday, I've never been so invigorated. You know, I'm up, and sometimes I watch, you know, if we haven't got a show and TNT's on, I see Frank at ringside getting up. Oh, God. Same with me. I mean, I was just losing my shit on Saturday night with Catterall Taylor. And I went back to the room after. I think I couldn't go to sleep till like 6 o'clock. And I'm thinking, oh, what a night. I love it. Guess what? We got 5 of them on Saturday night. 5 Catterall Taylors, where I'm going to be up, banging on the canvas, making a prat of myself, jumping over the ropes if we win, sticking the fingers up to Frank once we would go, you know, and when Ammo knocks out his captain. Told you, Warren. You know, and he probably slapped me across the face. It's good for TV. But we love to see our fighters do well. You know what? I think one of the best things is, for me, the most enjoyable part of this job is when you've actually got that relationship with a fighter on their journey where you actually really care for them and want them to win. That's the most enjoyable moments of the career, isn't it? When you've got to say, oh, I would love him to do it. Oh. And Ray, Craig, Ammo, 3 guys that I'm just like, I would love you to do this. Love you to do it. And he's got, you know, Hamza, he's had for a very long time. I mean, you know, they don't stop talking about Hamza Shearers. You know, Daniel Dubois from debut as well. You know, Nick Ball, worked with him for a long time. Craig Richards, Willie Hutchinson, sorry, you know, on that journey as well. So,
are you two going to be this pally all week? Like, is this the vibe?
No, Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night.
But there's 4 days. We've got press conferences.
Yeah, I think the press, like generally, I will probably be a little bit of an arsehole in the press conference because, not to Frank, I don't get Frank.
But that's what people want to see.
Yeah, but no, Frank can't. Like, I'll be nice to Frank, you know, but because I've got to butter him up a little bit.
Be nice
you know?
to old people.
Yeah, but it's like
much in it between you two.
There's nothing that I can do to Frank or say to Frank that's going to affect Saturday. What I can do is I can go up to Willie Hutchinson at the presser and say, I think when it gets a bit tough, you're going to duck out of this fight and get stopped. And I can say to Hamza Shearers, you know when you pull back with your chin in the air and Ammo sticks one right on you and knocks you spark out? Or Nick Ball, you know, imagine what it's going to feel like to get schooled and then stopped. Or Daniel, you know what's going to happen in this fight? You can get stopped to the body. And by the way, Zilazang, after this, that's it for you. It's not going to be very popular, but we've got to do what we've got to do. Respect to all of them. They're great people, but we have to win by any means necessary.
You've got to rebuttal that, Frank.
Say again?
You've got to rebuttal that.
I've got to rebuttal. I want him to do that.
He wants
if
it
that
for
don't,
the
if,
views.
that, if,
He
that,
wants it
if,
for the
that,
views.
if that does not fire him up, what is going to fire him up? Of course you do. They're there to win. They're not coming out to make out the numbers. They're good fighters. They're good, young, good quality fighters. I believe in them. We picked them for a reason, as a part of our team, and where we are on Saturday, we're going to find out the truth, because it will be the truth. This is all about now how much these guys want it. We've done all the bits we can do, and which we'll fire them up. We'll say, we'll give them, jockey them along, do all the things we've got to do. But at the end of the day, once that bell goes, it's up to them to seize the moment.
I have been told that Andy Ayling isn't happy about being put up as a T-boy. Can you make comment on this, Frank?
I haven't spoken to him about it. He ain't got to worry about that. We got a French maid coming in on the Monday. What we got to worry about that for?
Can I say one thing? Frank Smith would genuinely do that even if we won. He's actually quite, he's a strange fella, you know, but he's like, so just for those who don't know, if MATCHROOM win, Andy Ayling has to come to HQ dressed as a butler and serve everybody tea and coffee. And if Queensberry win, Frank Smith has to go in a French maid's outfit and serve everybody tea and coffee. This means much more than any money. I mean, firstly, he's got to convince Andy. There's going to be murders. Imagine him trying to convince Andy. Well, you know.
Andy said he's not doing it, apparently.
Well, let me tell you something. If you remember all these interviews with, he's the one who come in and started all this in the first place with the tea. He's coming in and serving tea. Listen, if he don't do it, what's he going to look like?
Let's just get one thing clear. If he doesn't do it, someone will have to do it.
Right. Listen, I've got to tell you, I'd like to serve him the tea I make.
Yeah, would you drink the tea that Frank served? Well,
according to you, with the fire alarms and that, who knows what's going to put in?
And by any means necessary, you said.
And we'll be making, and we're not bad losers, but we'll be making that tea with recycled water.
So it's game on this week anyway.
Yeah, it's game on. And listen, you're about to see something different for boxing. It's going to be one of the best nights. Yeah, this is going to be one of the best nights we have ever had in the sport. So tune in.
May the best man or best men win.
Thank you.
We will.
Right, just before I let you go, obviously your rivalry has been kind of spearheaded over the last few years through Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. Are we further away from seeing the biggest fight in boxing still, Frank?
Look, you've got the rematch, and then after that fight, I hope and I believe Tyson will win the rematch, but anything can happen in heavyweight boxing, as we know. Who knows? You know, these guys are having tough fights, and these fights will make a difference, could make a difference to their life as they get older. Who knows what's going to happen? Would I like to see it? Of course I'd like to see it. Would Eddie like to see it? Yeah. Would Anthony want it? Would Tyson want it? At this moment in time, they probably will both say yes. But you've got to take it when we get to that stage. Let's get this other one out of the way first, because we've got a way to go before it goes on. And it's, I'll tell you something, that ain't going to be no easy job for anyone. That last fight will take a lot out of both the boys, out of Tyson and out of USYK, and you will see on the night who it's taken the most out of.
Eddie, on that?
Yeah, I truly believe that fight will happen. It's just how big it is depends on what plays out over the next year. You know, if AJ wins at Wembley, if Fury wins that rematch, I mean, it's bigger than it was a month ago by a mile. Listen, if Fury was to lose again in a close fight and AJ wins a version of the world title, they fight for the world heavyweight title.
Does it have to be the belt?
Not really, but, you know, I think heavyweight world championships are important. But right now, all we're focusing on is locking in AJ's next fight. We'll see what happens this Saturday, because that'll be important. The rematch, I think, the rematch is a massive fight. Massive fight. So hopefully Tyson can do the business. They both win. And next year we get what we want. But I do think either way next year we'll get that fight.
Before that, 5v5. Can we get a handshake between the pair of you?
Done.
Set them fire alarms off, Frank.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.